Hey there, Ole'Pops. I'm sitting in front of, oh no, I'm not. I'm sitting out back at the local library. In the wonderful farming community of Woodbury, Tennessee, which is about 25 miles due east of home. And Gracie's trying again. They're going to put a broom in her hand. And they're going to let her do some community service work. And of course, I got nothing to do today. Got a thing in this world to do. Uh-oh. Somebody's trying to get me. But this is a Wednesday morning. Well, it's getting close to afternoon. It's 10 minutes till 11. They told her not to show up. They open at 9. And told her not to show up till a little later on because they wanted to give the librarian time to get her business took care of, get her opening business took care of. They said they was going to let her sweep some sidewalks, steps and sidewalks. Gracie thought maybe it was just the sidewalk to the road, and she said, well, I got to, she said, that'll take me about 10 minutes. But as we pulled up, there's a sidewalk all the way around this place. Looks like it might at one time been a funeral home. The way it's set up. Being a former pastor, I'm well familiarized with funeral homes, old-fashioned funeral homes, and the building looks like it's set up like an old-fashioned funeral home. There's I'm sure y'all know what funeral homes look like. It's set up like it could have been. I am smoking a little bit of Halls of Heartache in a little, let me hold this end of it, in a little Italian peacock briar. Hey, look at there, sun shining through there. You can get a good look at that, can't you? And it's a little peacock briar from the Gatlin Burlier, Sir Richard. But the Briar dude, Dan, and my granddaughter went to Gatlinburg, went to Pigeon Forge, and of course it ain't but a hop and a skip from Gatlinburg. But they went on up to Gatlinburg for the reason of visiting the Gatlin Burlier. And they had a blast. He rode that zip line, not the zip line, but the thing that sits on the ground on a pole that rides you down the mountain. And he said that was the most fun he'd had in a long time. But anyway, he bought 2 of these, brought me one back. He's got the other one. Anyway, I got a glove on. I know you saw it. Because while she's inside, I'm going to sit out here and give her something to sweet. These are, this is one of the knives that Jackson Barron sent me. And I went to the Hobby Lobby and found me a pack of basswood blocks. And I have had a big time with them. I've learned a lot. I've learned a whole lot about carving. Winker says to keep your knives very sharp. There she is, way over yonder. Sure enough swinging a broom. And she's showing up by herself, and that's just the way she likes it. Stay busy. Stay busy, girl. Yeah, there you go. She just took her a breather. Just a breath catcher. That's okay. But he says to keep your knives plumb sharp. And you would be surprised. Basswood is actually considered And I don't know why. But it's considered a hardwood. But it carves real easy if you've got a sharp knife. She's easily overwhelmed. It's good to see her going at those sidewalks like she is. Because like I said, she's easily overwhelmed. When I pulled up here, I saw her eyes get big when she saw just exactly how much sidewalk there was. There's sidewalks all the way around the building and lots of steps because the parking lot sits down on one level. The building's up on another level. Got her a dustpan. I'm gonna roll me some windows down, see if I can catch me a breeze through this truck. They're talking about it being 81 degrees today. I don't know if that's true, but this is what I got. See his little feet there? See where his, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can see where his little pants come out over his shoes. It's got a couple little chips in it where my knives weren't sharp enough. I had to order me a strop off of Amazon. Y'all gonna hear me mention the name Linker, because that's the guy I look at on the internet as far as carving goes. And he says his knives never touch a stone. He says all he does is strop his knives. So what I did rubber tube here to protect it. I'll show you what I did. First thing I did was I got me this piece of black leather and I glued it to this piece of board here, and I made me one. I made me a straw. And it worked okay. But then I ordered me a Lovato straw online. I saw it online for $8. I didn't have any of all the stuff that you rub on it, compound. But I ordered this strap online, and on one side it's got a rough edge. You can see where I've already rubbed compound on that one. And on the other side, it's got a smooth edge for fine-tuning it. And it seems to work pretty good. I don't put no compound on that smooth edge. And it gets it, it fine-tunes it like a barber's strop. But let me tell you, it's got her sharp. It's taking out just the thinnest little slivers. It cleans it up real good. No more chips. Yeah, that's just really pretty. So I'm learning. That's all I really wanted to do on this block. I know that I'm going to finish it, and it's going to look really rough, but this is my first one. That's all I wanted to do was learn. Slow down now. Slow down. There's sidewalk and steps all around this building. Take your time. Slow down. You can fix that when you get home. They let you come back tomorrow or bring a leaf blower. How about that? You reckon? No, it's a library. You gotta be quiet. 'Cause you pretty. 'Cause you pretty. 'Cause you pretty. Got chips of wood all over me. You know what I think I'll do? I think I'll save all these and put them in my damn camp stove. There's pipes that smoke any blend. And then there's blends that smokes good in any pipe. And that's what Halls of Heartache is. I mixed it up myself. But I don't believe I put it in any pipe that I've got that it ain't smoked good in. It smokes good. I remember when I was a kid, I was from one town, and my best friend was from another town. And Woodbury was right in between them. Well, not in between them. Woodbury and my town and his town made a triangle. And my daddy had plenty of money, and so did his. And because of that fact, we was both able to attend the same high school. And he and I, back during high school, formed a little rock and roll band. And we did pretty good. But anyway, one of the first shows that we ever played was at the Cannon County I'm not exactly sure what they called it, but it was the civic center, the community center, but they had a baseball field, and I don't know if you can see it. Let me look. Yeah, you can see it right behind my head. But I was just sitting here looking in my rearview mirror and noticed that baseball field right behind me. That's the very place. I'll recognize it till the day I die, because it was the very first place at 18 years old, well, 17 years old, that the very first place I ever got a gun drawn on me and shoved in my face. At 17 years old, it's happened since then, and it scared the life out of me. But at 17 years old, it made me piss my pants. We had to get special permission to play this outdoor show in Cannon County because it's such a small town, and it's just a little farming community, and we were a rock band, so we had to get special permission, and we had to get a judge to sign a court order stating that we could play it outside. We were going to play it inside at the Civic Center. There we go. And it turns out they were using the Civic Center for something that night, so we ended up playing it outside. And we had to get special permission from a judge to play until 11 o'clock that night. So we started at 9 o'clock, and we're going to play from 9 to 11. Well, we started sharp at 9 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, county sheriff pulled up and said that we were breaking a sound ordinance and we needed to shut it down. And it wasn't no deputy. It wasn't no alderman. It wasn't no constable. It was the sheriff himself. And our bass player, who was sort of acting as the band leader, and pretty much he kind of was, but he pulled the paper out of his bag sitting there beside his amp. He pulled the paper out of his amp. He reached down and put his bass down and pulled the paperwork out of his amp. And I put my guitar down and walked over to talk to the sheriff. And John, our bass player, grabbed paperwork. And I told the sheriff, I said, "Sir," I said, "we have a court order signed by Judge," and I can't remember his last name right now, but I told him, I said, "signed by Judge so-and-so, stating that we can play until 11 o'clock. And at that point, John came walking back over to him, holding that court order like this, hanging like this where he could see it. And he, I don't know, it seemed like Jackie Gleason on that movie with Burt Reynolds and who is it? James. That plays his deputy, James. Anyway, it's not a big deal, but he reached down and unsnapped his gun and he pulled it out and he started doing like this with it. And when he quit wiggling it, it was pointing right in my face. And he says, "I don't care what you got." He says, "All I know is that if this shit don't stop, somebody's gonna get hurt." And I'm doing like this, and I look down and that gun's right up underneath my nose. And I turned around and I looked at our drummer, Billy, and I said, "Billy, turn it off." at that point, now Billy was from Woodbury, and he was not intimidated. And here I am staring down the barrel of a revolver. At 17, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what kind of revolver it was. All I know is that it was big and hollow, and it was pointed at my nose. And Billy goes into a drum solo. And next thing I know, Kirk reaches over. Kirk is my best friend at the time. He was the other guitarist. He reaches over and he pulls the main power snake. And Billy's drums were mic'd, so they were out. But he was still pounding on them, and it was a drum kit, just pounding and pounding and pounding, but they were no longer amplified. But it was still a drum kit, you know. You know. Well, we did what he asked us to do. We shut it down. Oh my. They say you live, you learn. I reckon so. I reckon so. Well, anyway, this video is getting long, but that's a good thing, because that means that Gracie's getting some good time work. Either that or she's stretching it into some good time. I believe I'm going to cut it off right here and pack my stuff up and turn this into a nap. So, anyway, I'm Ole'Pops. Much love, y'all. Y'all be good to each other. I'm gonna hope and pray they've got some trash cans for her to dump. And she gets at least a couple of hours out of this trip. So anyway, I won't keep you. You folks be good to each other.